Hello, I'm Tamia, and I'm going to be discussing how the kidneys work, the functions of the kidneys, how dialysis works, and a little bit more things in between. Hopefully, the viewer will get a lot of useful information out of my video and will learn more about the kidney. So, we have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about. Um, what exactly does the kidney do? What are they? Um, your kidneys are a very important organ that basically filters out all the waste in your body. Um, Without our kidneys, I don't know where we would be because there's so much bad toxins and chemicals and substances that are in our body, but our kidneys filters it out and makes us use the restroom, and it releases all the bad toxins in our body. So our kidneys are broken down into three distinct areas. Number one, the renal cortex, which is the outer layer of our kidney. Number two, the renal medulla, which is the middle layer of our kidney, and the renal pelvis, which turns into the urethra. Um, the urethra is a tube coming from your kidneys that transport all the urine, which carries the bad waste, out of your body. Um, Basically, the urethra transports all the bad stuff out. So your urethra is very important. So now that we know exactly what the kidneys do, the three important parts of the kidney, let's move on to a cell membrane. Um, the cell membrane is a really cool thing. It is semi-permeable, which means that it allows things to come in and come out, and then it can shut things off and open things. So it's really flexible. It allows things to come inside your body and allows things to come out. It's three main components to a cell membrane. Um, the protein channels, which basically they are found in the phospholipid bilayer, and it allows certain substances to come in and out. We have the protein channels, which are our pumps. They're also found in the phospholipid bilayer. And then we have the phospholipid bilayer, which holds the protein channels. The cell membrane basically just has two main functions. It allows what comes in and out of the molecule. So like I said earlier, it allows things to be semi-permeable, pass through and exit out. It also allows bad things out of your body that are already in your body, and they just lets everything pass and pass. So now that we covered actually what the cell membrane is and what its basic job is, let's talk about exactly what helps the membrane function. It's three processes that are used to make substances move across our cell membrane. The first one I'm going to talk about is active transport. Active transport is it allows substances to move from a specific region of low concentration to high concentration using energy, which is ATP. In our kidneys, we have things like sugars or water or whatever. They move from low to high concentration. With active transport, this cannot be done without energy. So you can't have active transport unless you have energy, which we call energy ATP when we're talking about kidneys. So the next one is facilitated transport, which is a type of passive transport that allows substances to pass within the kidneys with assistance of transport. Like this was kind of tricky to me. The facilitated transport, basically, like I said, is another type of passive transport. It doesn't allow energy, but it needs the assistance of transport protein. And then there's single transport, which basically um is just one step at a time. The two main diffusion types that our kidneys use would be passive and active transport. Active transport allows energy, and passive doesn't allow energy. So when you see the two, just know that active transport and involves energy, and passive transport does not involve energy. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, let's move on to something similar: osmosis. Osmosis is a process that takes a pure substance such as water and basically move it through a permeable membrane like our cell membrane. This is from a solution that has a low concentration to a high concentration. So I kind of have a little diagram. I don't know if you can see it, but okay, so like this is the high concentration. You see the sugars, the waters, the little circles. This is the permeable cell membrane. It allows things to go in and out. So down here is where the water started. You have a few little waters, which is at low concentration, but it's moving to the high concentration, so it's getting more. So osmosis is when water moves into a high concentration zone from a low concentration zone, and as molecules move to high concentration zone, this gets lower and lower and lower, and then it starts over. The process starts over. So that is osmosis. Basically, it just um, filters out, the water from each low concentration to high concentration, and it passes through a permeable cell membrane. Our kidneys have three renal processes, which are glomerular filtration, the filtering of blood; tubular respiration, which absorbs the substances needed from the tubuli to the blood; and the tubular secretion, which is two creations of a substance that's needed to be eliminated. When your body cannot do these, basically it burns your kidneys out. So then you fall into kidney failure. Kidney failure is when the kidney cannot function properly because over time too much waste has built up in your body. So they have no way to get the bad toxins out, so the kidneys shut down, your organs start to not function properly. Your body finds another alternative to try to get the waste out, and sometimes the waste ends up sitting in your ankles or your legs. That's why when people have kidney failure, most of the time, if it isn't caught in time, you see the buildup in their legs or their ankles or their feet. So when someone goes through kidney failure, they have to go through dialysis or they will not live, because you can't live without your kidney function. So basically, dialysis is an artificial way of eliminating waste in our body. So there are two types of kidney dialysis, but I'm really going to focus on one, which is hemodialysis. That is the most widely ranged dialysis that we use, simply because it's the real artificial way of filtering out your blood. And it takes out blood through a little catheter, and it takes it, puts it into a machine, then the blood is returned through a catheter. So like it's filtering it, it's cleaning it out, it's returning the blood, but the blood is basically sent back to your body while using a catheter. And people who take hemodialysis are normally they don't really have the convenience of being able to just be free anymore. Because once you start dialysis, you're always on dialysis. You come to the dialysis place and they do that for 3 to 4 hours because, it's so much you have to filter it out, or like I said before, you really won't live. So it lasts about 3 to 4 hours every week. It depends on your kidneys, how many days or how often you have to come, or the hours, but most people that have it kind of bad or in between, they come between 3 to 4 hours regularly, every other day, to come get their kidneys filtered out. So the session of the dialysis just depends on if your one kidney is um not functioning right, or both kidneys have failed and it's really that bad. Then it depends on the severity of your kidneys. But dialysis have a few side effects. They have known to give people infections. um that's an open sore, open wound. So like, you'll see people with itchy skin because you do get stuck all over it, and you do get bandaged sometimes, or it makes your skin really uncomfortable because you're drawing so much blood out and putting so much blood in. It's just a lot for your skin to bear. And then I've heard that you've had to get sleep difficulties, and you get the little knots on your arms where you've been stuck in so many different places to get blood drawn, and it's really an uncomfortable thing to do. So if you can, I hope you learned something from this video. Please take care of your kidneys. They are really vital to your existence here on our earth. Um, but it's been a pleasure trying to teach you about kidneys, the functioning of our kidneys, anything else that I covered. I hope that you've took in my information. But thank you for viewing.